Welcome, Causeway Bay.
Hey.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Vincent, how you doing?
Okay, let's start with a positive note on Monday.
Okay.
Your mo is getting longer.
Hey, that is good news. I think people can actually see it now. You know,
Yeah.
Movember is in full force.
All right, okay.
So be on the lookout for the mows, and remember, it's about men's health.
Yep.
All right.
So it's the first day of the week, Monday,
Yep.
11th
Of November.
of November.
Yep. So 11/11.
Yep.
Very special day.
Yep.
I've got my Canadian poppy here to remember the soldiers that fought and died in World War I, World War II.
Yep.
For us here in Hong Kong, with the Canadians, of course, there were 2,000 Canadians that were sent over to fight alongside the British, the Indian, and of course the local Chinese volunteer troops that fought against the Japanese. And we tip our hats to those guys and remember their sacrifice.
All right. The Canadian poppy is very different from the British poppy.
Typically, the British poppy you see in Hong Kong. So we have
It's
a
the
special
paper one.
Yeah.
the
These
paper
ones are a little different. Canadians, of course, we got a little home team bias. We like our poppies.
All right.
Shout out to the Canadian Consul General that gets those in. So
Yeah, I always find it interesting because the Chinese name of poppy makes people almost immediately think of heroin.
Oh yeah.
Because the poppy is the key ingredients
In heroin, yeah.
in heroin. Yeah.
Well, I think for
That's the strange part of it.
yeah, that for people know the story behind this one. There's a famous poem.
Yep.
They say in Flanders Field where the
Flanders
poppies
Field,
grow.
yeah.
And it was actually written by a Canadian military doctor.
Yes.
World War I, and so that was when they buried one of the cemeteries, where they buried the poppies were growing there, and I guess the people that were in the ground, they were beyond feeling any pain, so beyond the reach of
All right.
poppies and heroin and all that. So so that's we show a little
Well,
respect.
Kira for today, poppy.
poppies.
Yeah, poppies. All right.
We're gonna talk politics
Yes. Now, from this P to the next P.
from this P to the next P. Okay.
Poppy to politics.
To politics. Okay, today, Let's Go's really back in action now. They had a bit of a slow start, but now it's like committee meetings, and so we really got to pick and choose.
Almost overrun.
Almost
Every day.
overrun.
Yep.
Yeah. Very quick one. CSSA. People can expect committees to approve today an increase in line with inflation, 3.4%.
Yep.
No more, no less. There'll be some debate around that. Some people say more, some people say less, but likely what they're going to get is inflation. Hong Kong's pretty good at sticking to its formulas.
For those who don't know, CSSA is actually Zhongwen.
Zhongwen.
Yeah, Zhongwen.
Yeah, Comprehensive Social Security Allowance.
Comprehensive Social Security Allowance.
Yeah.
All right.
So those guys are going to get a little bit more money. But the one that I really wanted to highlight today was the government. The committee's going to be looking at the health protection scheme. Mm-hmm. And this is the idea that the government will create. It's almost like, and I'm waiting for somebody to introduce this term, Hong Kong's Obamacare. Because they're going to create, it's they're saying it's purely voluntary health insurance system for people in Hong Kong to get them off, out of the hospital authority, out of the public health system, and into private health care, right? And with all the benefits that brings. So the government's going to be pushing that. Today they're looking at a report from the HKU, which is about manpower, right? And we've talked about manpower issues in the past. We talked about nursing last week. Doctors are definitely on the list. And the C, which also goes to the CUHK, talking about in their report they're going to present today on the regulatory framework for medical professionals.
All right.
And that's got to take a shot at the doctors. But I've got one last warning about this whole issue. Now, when the Hong Kong government launched this first consultation document in 2010, they had a big document, big splash as they do. This was the logo. Can we get a close-up on that?
Sure.
Yeah? Look at some of our fan base out there in Causeway Bay. So that's the logo that they came up with. And remember, this is about a government program, healthcare, that's supposed to help you. But it is almost an exact copy of another healthcare company. And this is their logo. And if you look at the shape of the two, they're both the same 8 triangles in a circle with the beveled edges. Almost exactly the same. If you can get that up to the cameras, Vincent, so make sure they can see both.
This is an insurance company.
Well, the top one is the government one. The bottom one is actually a pharmaceutical company.
All right.
And it's a pharmaceutical company that is famous for launching a zombie apocalypse on the world that Mila Jovovich and the Resident Evil movies had to get out and fight. The first game, the video game.
This is not a real company.
Nah.
This is a TV game.
A video game.
Video game company.
And then the movies.
Yeah, and then the movies.
And I remember when it came out in 2010, people
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yes.
Yeah. Or Biohazard.
And Biohazard out of Japan, yeah, the original name. And I was shocked that Capcom, the owner of the brand, didn't slap a lawsuit on the Hong Kong government, a cease and desist order to say, why are you ripping off our healthcare logo for your healthcare program? Do you think you can launch a zombie apocalypse and compete with us? I don't think so. So it was quite a funny coincidence that some lazy designer with the government just cut and pasted the Umbrella Corp logo and changed the colors. I mean, they're exactly the same. We're going to go look it up on the government website for the health protection scheme. It's like myhealth.gov.
Well, on the other hand, considering that once the new healthcare scheme was implemented in Hong Kong, we all become zombies.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That's it. So Hong Kong, watch out for the scheme. You don't know what's underneath the surface.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
Vincent. Cheers.